You don't lose friends because you're doing something wrong. You lose them because you're finally doing something right. And some people can't stand watching you escape the cage they're still comfortable in. It never breaks all at once. That's the first lesson. People think endings are loud, explosive, obvious. But the real heartbreaks, the real separations, they happen quietly, one small drift at a time, like watching a photograph fade in sunlight, slowly, painfully, pixel by pixel, until you're not even sure if the memory was ever real or something you just needed to believe. You don't notice the loss immediately. You notice the gaps, the longer silences, the jokes that don't land anymore because you're no longer standing inside the same world together. And you try to tell yourself it's normal. People grow, life gets busy, but deep down, in that honest place you avoid, you know something is slipping. There's a unique kind of ache that comes from outgrowing people who once felt like home. It's not anger, it's not betrayal, it's a heaviness, like grieving someone who's still alive, still posting, still laughing, just not with you. So you go back again and again, replaying conversations in your head like an investigator at a crime scene, trying to find the exact moment the foundation cracked. Was it when you stopped drinking every weekend? When you started waking up early? When you began talking about things that mattered? The book you were reading, the future you were building, the man you were trying to become. You remember the tension in the air when you shared something real, the thin smiles, the encouragement wrapped in doubt. Are you sure that's a good idea? You're really gonna do that? Remember when we used to just have fun? At 3 a.m., the doubt cuts deepest, that quiet hour where every insecurity wakes up at once. And you ask yourself, what if they were right? What if I'm the problem? What if wanting more makes me arrogant, selfish, disloyal? But then you remember the truth, how exhausting it became being around them, how you had to dim your light just to keep the peace, how every accomplishment had to be downplayed, every dream softened, every part of you minimized so they could stay comfortable. And you start to see it clearly. That wasn't friendship. That was suffocation disguised as loyalty. Then there's the moment, the turning point, the crystallizing shift. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just painfully ordinary. Maybe it's a message you send, something honest, something vulnerable, and the reply comes back flat, generic, or worse, nothing at all. Or maybe it's sitting across from them, listening to the same recycled complaints, the same scripts, the same comfortable misery they've chosen as a lifestyle, and you realize you have nothing to say anymore. Not because you changed, but because you finally see the truth. Some people don't grow, they just age. The longing hits next, not for them, but for who you were with them, for the version of yourself that had to die so you could survive. Then comes the deeper realization, the one that cuts the deepest. You didn't lose them, you never had them. What you had was an arrangement, a silent contract built on convenience, on shared stagnation, on the unspoken rule that no one tries to rise above the others. And the moment you broke that rule, the moment you chose growth over familiarity, everything dissolved. That's when the grief hits, not for them, but for the years you spent making yourself small, for the energy you gave to relationships that depended on your silence. But something else waits beneath the wreckage. Quiet, steady, powerful. A new kind of strength, not loud, not triumphant, more like a shift in gravity, a reorientation of your soul. You begin to understand that being alone is not the same as being lonely. That silence can be sacred when it's no longer filled with people who diminish you. You start to see the truth of it. You weren't abandoned. You outgrew the room. But the hardest fight isn't with them. It's with the version of you that wants to go back. The part that still reaches for the phone, still wants their validation, still craves their approval, even after everything. But you can't go back because you've seen too much now, because you've become too much, because some awakenings can't be undone. You begin to notice the patterns you once ignored, how some people only reach out when they need something, how some friendships were built on your availability, not your authenticity, how you were valued for what you provided, not who you were. And though the clarity hurts, it frees you, because you finally understand that protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's survival. That choosing solitude over dysfunction isn't isolation, It's wisdom. Yes, the loneliness still sneaks in. Some nights it feels like drowning. Some mornings you question everything. Some moments you wish you could unknow the truth just to feel the comfort again. But then the shift happens. Slow, steady, unstoppable. You start to regain the energy you once spent maintaining the wrong people. You start to see the world with clearer eyes. You start to breathe deeper, stand taller, feel lighter, and new people appear. Not many, not fast, but the right ones. People who speak your language, who don't fear your growth, who don't need you to shrink so they can feel tall. People who aren't intimidated by your evolution, because they're busy evolving too. And here's the twist nobody tells you. Losing people can make you more found. Being alone can make you more whole. The breakdown you feared is the breakthrough you needed. You realize the loss was never loss. It was release, an opening, a clearing, a path you couldn't walk until your hands were empty. So here you stand now, not healed, not complete, but transformed, sharpened by the fire, defined by the silence, strengthened by the solitude. You're not who they knew. You're not who you were. You're something else now, still forming, still unfolding, still becoming. And yes, the freedom is terrifying. The uncertainty is heavy, but it's real, and it's yours. You hold this truth like a flame. Growth isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming someone true. And if that truth requires walking alone, for a season, for a chapter, for a lifetime, then so be it. Because some cages are made of people, and some freedom requires the courage to walk away.